Hi everyone, welcome back to my vlog. This is my life, because guess what? This is my life. I'm drinking my homemade cold brew. Ran out of creamer, so I'm using evaporated milk with vanilla extract. So what do I want to talk about right now? So my husband left for work. He got called in to do a 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. So that gives me some time to work on some videos for YouTube, and all the pink is out of my hair. Okay, I know you saw the videos of me with my fresh pink hair. I bleached it. I bleached my husband's hair, and I put in a got to be pink hair dye. Biggest mistake ever, because I should have learned when I tried to dye my hair blue a couple years ago, and it was a disaster. It didn't turn it blue. So when we have the money, we're gonna redo our hair to the pink that I intended. And of course, because my husband doesn't like wasting money, when I dye my hair, because my hair being so short right now, if I have hair dye left over, I dye his hair as well. So we usually have matching hair color whenever I decide to dye my hair a funky shade. Okay? And my hair is like out of control back here. I don't know. And I don't know what's going on, because my hair has not grown that much since I dyed it. But it looks like my roots are starting to show. So I guarantee the bleach I used was shitty as well. But I will get that fixed. But I'm just glad that my hair is actually staying down, whereas it used to be like out of control. But you saw how I keep my hair down. I use a wig cap on my head. All right, so I didn't intend on talking about my hair. We're going to talk about a different subject. Who here knows who Lily Tino is? Now, if you're on TikTok, you should know who Lily Tino is. It's a trans woman who goes to restaurants just so he gets misgendered, and come at me all you want saying she. But if you know who Lily Tino is, you're going to say he as well. Goes to restaurants just to get misgendered so he can get free meals, free drinks. He likes to stir the pot. And this man is very masculine. Facial features, body and everything is masculine. Okay? You sound like a man. You look like a man. Guess what? You are a man. And this person is a disgrace to the trans community. I have nothing against trans people, as long as you're not trying to shove it down somebody's throat. Okay? If you're misgendered, correct the person. Don't act like an asshole correcting the person like Lily Tino does. Because he acts like the world's gonna fucking end because he gets called a sir. I'm sorry, if you look like a sir, sound like a sir, you are a sir. He goes to Disneyland a lot, okay? And he'll start talking about things that are very inappropriate while sitting down eating food. And what type of people are at Disneyland? Families. What else? What else type of people is at Disneyland? Children. He will literally sit down at a table and he'll start using food he has as exhibits for what he's talking about. He used a marshmallow wand one time. He used a marshmallow wand to talk about his thing downstairs. And you know what I'm talking about. And he used cake pops to talk about the balls. And he was talking about how he had his cake pops removed, but because he was having hair grow on his marshmallow wand, he couldn't get it turned into a marshmallow tunnel. Now, who talks like that at Disneyland with children around? Seriously, who talks like that? And when people saw that video, because he makes these videos just to stir the pot. And when people saw that video, they're like, dude, you need to get banned from Disney. You should not be talking like that at Disneyland, around children, okay? Another thing he does, he made a video recently about going into the women's bathroom. And he was talking about how he was peeing standing up and he was so proud of himself. Okay, I was proud of my son too when he peed in the toilet for the first time. Bravo, you peed in the toilet standing up. I am so proud of you. That's because you're a man. You're a man. Okay, I don't even think he's really a trans. I think he's more of a cross-dresser that just wants to get into the women's bathroom. Okay? And the thing is in my opinion, and I could have a lot of people coming at me, a lot of trans women, and I'm saying just a lot, not all, because I do know, I am friends with a lot of trans people, trans men, trans women. A lot of trans men, or trans women, I mean, they creep me out more than a trans man, okay? Because what is their intention? Wanting to go into the women's bathroom where children usually are. And like I said, I have nothing against anybody being trans. I don't have anything against anybody being a lesbian, anybody being gay, or bi. I have nothing against that. But when you're bringing it into the bathroom and you obviously look like a dude, you're going to have people staring at you. You're going to have a mother looking at you weird. I am surprised no mother has knocked him out yet. Okay, I know if you walk into a bathroom and I find out you're in the bathroom standing up and peeing, obviously I know you're not a woman. Okay, you're not a woman. You're a man. You look like a man. You sound like a man. You're not even tried to make your voice feminine. Okay, I know a lot of trans women, especially on TikTok, that have a feminine style voice where they actually go to speech therapy to learn how to talk like a woman, sound like a woman. He is very masculine, and I'll be sharing videos with you. Believe me, I'm going to share videos with you of Lily Tino, and you tell me, doesn't he sound like a man? Another video he did, it had to do with being at Disneyland, because he's got to stir the pot. The server sat a bread tower in front of him and referred to him as sir. And he corrected the man and said, oh, it's ma'am. Well, the guy is obviously Middle Eastern and probably didn't understand. He probably just, he's looking at you, he's listening to you, you sound like a sir to him. He's going to keep calling you a sir. That's just the way they are. And because he got misgendered, he called over another person and says, I don't want this bread tower here. And then he goes on to, say to the camera, because he needs to stir the pot a little bit more and get the, oh, what was me? I got called a sir. And he has to say, oh, I don't feel safe here because I got called sir. I got misgendered. And of course, when he mentioned that to somebody else when he wanted the check, he talked about how he got misgendered. He's always got to say that. Oh, I got misgendered. I got misgendered. I get called sir multiple times because I have short hair. Every once in a while, I have a deeper voice. My tremor kicks in, my voice is deep. But obviously, these are real, okay? These are real. These aren't fake. I got called trans in another video that I made, and I'm trying to figure that one out. I mean, trans people cannot have children, so how am I trans? I have 3 children, been pregnant 5 times. How am I trans? I'm a woman. It's the one about me talking about me being in the military where the person kept saying that ain't me. It's me. If I could find my DD-214, I'd give it to you. Oh, if I wasn't in the military, how'd I know it was a DD-214 I need to look for? I don't need to prove shit to nobody. I was in the military. That's me. The reason I have brown eyes in that picture is certain lighting changes the color of my eyes, okay? Because I don't have a selfie light on me, it changed the color of my eyes. Plus, that picture is kind of old and worn out, so I had to restore it online, and it just made my eyes look brown. But dude, that's me. How can you not see that that's me? I'll make another video about that some other time, probably later. So back to Lily Tino. So he had to do the pity me, and the server said, well, the drink's on us. And oh, Lily Tino, you got a free drink. Man, why do I go into restaurants, dress like a fucking dude, have them call me a ma'am, and I'm like, no, it's sir. It's sir. It's sir. It's not ma'am. It's sir. I should do that. See if I can get me some free food. We'll call it doing the Lily Tino. All right. So I'm going to share with you some videos, and believe me, some are disturbing.
I was just in the women's room at a cheesecake factory, and when I walked in, there was this little girl, like 3 years old, tops. She was standing there alone, I assumed waiting for her parent, who was in the stall, and all the stalls were full. So like I couldn't go in, I just had to wait. And it was me and this little girl and no one else. And she kind of looked at me like, and you know, I just like nodded my head and didn't look at her. I was like, you know, it's kind of awkward. And it occurred to me that when the parent, who I don't know, leaves the stall, exits their stall and sees me, a trans person, and their little 3-year-old daughter, that they might make an assumption based on untrue things that they've heard, an assumption that could be very dangerous for me, unsafe for me. So instead of waiting for that to potentially happen, I left the bathroom and decided I didn't need to pee that bad. Trans people go through this thought process any time they're in a bathroom, and it's not okay. And it's important to talk about because it happens all the time.
Okay, so in that video of Lily Tino wearing black lipstick and the sunglasses, he seemed all proud being in the women's bathroom and probably confusing the hell out of that little girl. And he's lucky the mother that came out of the stall didn't, you know, knock him out for being in the women's bathroom. And why would you make a video talking about how you were alone in a bathroom with a little girl that was probably like 3 years old? That's disgusting, dude. Me, I wouldn't be as calm as that mother. I'd probably knock you out and leave you there. I'd drag you into the handicap stall, lock the door, and crawl underneath and just leave you there, okay? Because you don't belong in the women's bathroom. That's why they need to make bathrooms just for transgender people, okay? And again, like I said, I ain't got nothing against anybody that's trans, but when it comes to Lily Tino, it makes me question if you are trans. I guarantee people of the trans community don't want anything to do with him at all. Let's go on to the next video.
That is fancy looking. Cool.
The bottom is from Thailand.
Coconut bread from Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes,
Ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, sorry, my bad. And the middle one is from India. It's the papadom or the gingerbread chutney.
Okay.
And the third is from Brazil. It's a cheese bread with the guava sauce.
Thank you. Just like totally sucks the joy out of this bread tower. Makes me want to immediately like leave because I no longer feel like safe here. It's like, oh, my guard now has to be up. I'm not going to enjoy this bread as much because my guard is up. We should be able to go places and not have to worry. I don't think I really want this bread tower, actually. I think I'd rather have the check if that's
Yes,
okay.
ma'am, yeah.
I think that's the training. We're supposed to say friend or just not use gendered language. It's like a pretty big thing that Disney has done. Nothing was wrong with bread. I just don't want it anymore. Just because they apologize doesn't mean she doesn't feel sad or offended. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, if you've accidentally ever hurt someone and say, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, do you expect them to be like, oh, it was an accident? Of course, no problem whatsoever. All of that hurt is now undone. That's not how it works.
Sorry about what happened.
It's okay.
No,
I would love
lovely.
to pay for the drink, please.
No, the drink is on me too. So
You don't. Are you sure?
you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
Sorry
very
about
much.
that.
I appreciate
Have a
it.
great
Thank you.
Now, that video right there of Lily Tino is the one I was talking about with the bread tower, where the server called him sir. And like I said, stop getting butthurt over it. You sounded like a sir. You look like sir. Guess what? He's gonna call you sir. Because where he's from, women don't look like you. They don't sound like you. They're not masculine looking. Seriously. So that was the one about the bread tower. And he didn't feel safe anymore from being there. And you saw, oh, he got his drink for free. Man, I need to start dressing like a guy. Go into restaurants and say I'm a sir when they call me ma'am or miss. I can do that. Wear some of my husband's clothes. Can't wear his pants. I'm like 50 pounds heavier than my husband. But yeah, he gets butthurt over everything. And then he's got to like piss and whine about it. Piss standing up. Like, grow up, dude. Grow up. Okay, so you got called sir. Correct it and just deal with it, okay? The trans community probably wants to knock you out. You're annoying, okay? I don't even get how you're still on TikTok. And I noticed you're really not anywhere else. I mean, you might be on YouTube, but I didn't look for you there. I just happened to stumbled upon you on TikTok because I follow a lot of trans people. I have a lot of trans friends on there. And I just happened to stumbled upon yours, and I see everybody just making fun of all your videos and calling you out for your bullshit like I am. Let's move on to another video.
Last year I made a video that a lot of people got upset by, where I talked about some things in Disneyland. A lot of y'all thought that video would get me banned from Disney, so let's see if that's true. I'm at the Disney World entrance about to try and get in, so let's see if that video really did get me banned. I paid for a hotel and the tickets, so it would be really unfortunate if that happened at this point. It's not a very long line to get in. Sweat on the brow. That's how I'm nervous. It's exciting. I love Disney World. Okay, so I just beep it here.
Yeah.
Put the finger there. Oh, further in. I'm allowed in? I'm not banned from Disney.
No, you're not.
Wow. Huge news. Thank you. Y'all. I'm back. I'm back, baby. You can't keep me out of Disney. Marshmallow wands. Cake pops. Let's go. I'm here.
If I was the worker that was checking people in at Disneyland, and you asked if you were banned at Disneyland, I'd be calling security because that sounds a little creepy. What did you do that you think you're being banned? Oh, that's right. You were talking about cake pops and marshmallow wands. In a place where children are. Like, seriously, dude? And then you come through the entrance thing, and you're standing there. I'm not banned. I'm back. And then you're saying marshmallow wands and cake pops. Dude, you sounded like a freaking dude saying that, and you wonder why you're misgendered? Dude, start to sound feminine. If you want to be called a woman, start sounding like one, dude. You're an embarrassment to the trans community. You seriously are an embarrassment to the trans community. I mean, even trans people are making fun of you on TikTok. They're making fun of you hardcore. And I find it funny. Because you do not represent what a trans person is. You don't. You're using it for clout. You're using it for views. You're using it to get free food and drinks. You're doing it to stir the pot because, oh my God, somebody calls you a sir. Ugh. It's a knife to the heart, ain't it? Somebody calls you a man. Ugh. It's a knife to the heart. Disgusting. Disgusting. And again, I have nothing against trans people. Okay? Nothing against them. Nothing against them. I have so many friends that are freaking trans online. It's not funny. But you, on the other hand, you're a disgrace to the trans community. Let's move on to the next one.
Disney World. I don't really know what the deal is with bathrooms. You know, Florida is really conservative. I don't know what the rules are. Trans women are allowed to be in women's bathrooms, but I'm about to go and use the bathroom because I have to tinkle. If I get stopped, I get stopped, I guess. But I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the women's bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me. So I will report back in a minute once I have hopefully tinkled without issue.
3 minutes later.
That went as well as it could have gone. No one gave me any weird looks. Definitely no one stopped me. I walked in, I found a stall. I peed. I peed standing up, which is something I'm sometimes a little self-conscious about with the sound. I think, oh, is there someone peeing standing up there? But you know what? I peed standing up and it was fine. And then I washed my hands and I left. And you know what? On my way out from the women's bathroom, I took a quick picture with someone who recognized me and it was lovely. So overall, Disney World in Florida, 10 out of 10. Women's bathroom experience for trans women, would recommend.
Now there's another video. Him being in the women's bathroom, being so proud of himself, talking about how he peed standing up. Okay? Normal trans women, they'd be sitting down and peeing if they have their marshmallow wand still. But you seem so proud of yourself. But let's play Jeopardy here. I'll take for $100 something that didn't happen. Him saying, oh, I took pictures with somebody that recognized me in the bathroom. Yeah, I'm sure somebody wanted to get a picture with you in the bathroom. No. And if anybody did want a picture of you, they need therapy too, just like you do. Because you need some major therapy, some major medication. You know, I'm not one to say anything about putting somebody on a benzodiazepine because I'm 3.5 years off Xanax and I saw what the hell that did to my brain being on that long term. But you, sir, you need to be on a benzo. And guess what? I called you sir because you look like a sir. You sound like a sir. Guess what? You are a sir. It's like that saying, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. All right, so we're going to move on to another video of this poor excuse in the trans community that is.
I got my cake pops removed, but now it's time to turn my candy cane into a donut. After the procedure is done, I will stay in the hospital for about a week. And while I'm there, they will pack my freshly made donut with napkins. This will ensure that everything sets in place and the donut doesn't close in on itself. After about a week, they will remove the napkin and send me home with instructions to dilate. Dilating serves the same purpose as the napkin, making sure that the donut doesn't close in on itself. Just instead of using the napkins, you use a plastic candy cane or dilator that you place inside of the donut for 20 minutes, 3 times a day. And as you heal, your donut will become more resilient and you will increase the size of your dilator until eventually you're ready for the big leagues and you only have to dilate a couple times a week. That being said, a lot of people don't want to dilate. It's understandable. The good news is that you can get a zero depth donut, one that looks the exact same but doesn't require dilation. There are certain things that you can't do with a zero depth donut, but that trade-off is worth it to some people. Personally, I am down to dilate because I am sick and tired of my candy cane, and I'm going into 2026 with a donut. I'm gonna get banned from Disney. I swear, we're about to get banned from Disney. Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel, so you don't want hair growing there or else it's very uncomfortable. So I talked to my surgeon and he said that it would be best to postpone the procedure until after hair removal is complete. This is obviously disappointing because I was really excited to have a marshmallow tunnel sooner. That being said, it is still happening. We're just not sure when it's happening. Hair removal is a fickle thing and it's really hard to predict when it will finish. But my hair removal technician thinks it will be before the end of the year. So, fingers crossed. Oh, good. Want some? My mom's here, by the way. The marshmallow tunnel.
Okay, so there was the video of Lily Tino talking about cake pops and marshmallow wands, talking about how he had his cake pops removed, but he couldn't get his marshmallow wand changed into a marshmallow tunnel because he was growing hair on his marshmallow wand. I asked my husband, I said, honey, do you have hair on your marshmallow wand? And he looked at me confused, so I showed him the video. Of course, it kind of creeped him out, disgusted him. And he goes, you're not supposed to have hair on your penis. I said, exactly. Who has hair on their penis? I can understand having hair on your balls, okay? Hair on your balls there. But you don't have hair on your penis. I'm like, exactly. You don't have hair on your penis, okay? You might have a random stray hair here and there on your, your ding-a-ling there. But who has hair on their penis, dude? You don't. And then he's in a public place with children around talking about using freaking food to represent his balls and his dick. Okay? Yeah. Get a new hobby, dude. You have children around. I guarantee they could hear you, and they are probably looking like, what the hell is this person doing? I'm sorry, if I was sitting near you and you started talking about cake pops and marshmallow wands, I'll kick you in your cake pop and marshmallow wands. Or wait, where the cake pops used to be. Like, I'm sorry, but how many people are disgusted yet? I mean, like my shirt? I think I got it at 5 Below. Yeah, it's kind of disgusting. Let's move on to the next video.
If trans women aren't women, then is this big croissant not a croissant? Of course it's a croissant. It's made out of butter and dough just like any other croissant. Oh, but there are biological differences. This croissant was born different. I'm not saying that there isn't a cosmetic difference between this croissant and this croissant, but they are both inarguably still croissants. Oh, but they're invading our bakeries and trying to brainwash our kids. But how? By teaching your kids there's more than one way to be a croissant? If anything, the existence of big and small croissants shows our kids how wonderful and diverse the world of pastries can be. Next thing you know, you're gonna start demanding that big croissants use separate cafes and identify as scones. So before I demolish this delicious and very valid pastry, repeat after me. Big croissants don't affect me in the slightest. If anything, it's pretty cool that they exist. Maybe one day I'll be lucky enough to find a big croissant and order it and dunk it in hot chocolate. Okay, my metaphor is falling apart, but you get it. All right, here we go. Oh my God. It's as big as my head. It's so flaky, I'm covered in flakes. I don't care that I have hot chocolate over my face. That's incredible.
So now he's using croissants. Different size croissants. A bigger one and a smaller one. To represent a woman and a trans woman. And saying, well, aren't these the same? They're the same. One's bigger than the other, but they're still the same. Here's a difference. Okay? A trans woman and a real woman, and you'll never hear me call a real woman a cis woman because I'm sick and tired of the word cis. C-I-S. I am sick and tired of that word. The difference between a trans woman and a real woman is the fact that a real woman has ovaries. She has a uterus. She menstruates. She has real boobs. She has a real chromosome that states that she's a woman, that she's female. Her DNA is female. A trans woman, on the other hand, will never have ovaries, will never have a uterus, will never have a menstrual cycle. Your chromosomes, your DNA is always going to say male. You're not changing that at all. So you can't compare croissants that are just two different sizes, but they look the same. You can't, because here's the thing. A trans woman and a real woman, you aren't the same. You aren't the same. You changed everything on the outside, but you're not changing everything on the inside. When you die, if they were to dig up your bones, they would say that you're a man because your pelvis is different than a woman's pelvis. You're not changing that at all. If they were to do a DNA test, it would come up that looking at your chromosomes, you're a male. No matter what you do on the outside is not going to change the makeup inside. You're always going to be the same. Inside, you're always going to have male chromosomes. Your DNA is always going to be male. You're going to have a male's pelvis, which cannot carry a baby like a real woman can, okay? A trans woman is never going to be able to get pregnant, okay? I don't care what trans women think that can happen. It's never going to happen because of your pelvis, okay? You wouldn't be able to carry a baby because your pelvis is different than a woman's pelvis. And don't come at me and say, oh, C-section. No, because you don't have the makeup that women have in that area to carry a baby. So you can't compare two things that look alike with two people that have totally different chromosomes. Okay, you're not going to be able to change your chromosomes. I don't care how much hormone therapy you get, whatever. You're not changing that. When it comes to hormone therapy, you're changing your looks, possibly your voice. But a lot of people have to go through speech therapy to be able to change their voice. You're never going to change your chromosome. Okay, your chromosomes are going to be the same no matter what you do. Okay, so your comparison didn't work. It didn't work. I really don't understand this person. Like, seriously, again, trans community hates you. They hate you. They don't think of you as one of them. They think of you as somebody that needs to take a hike, because you're the type of person that is causing problems for the trans community. Okay, let's move on to the next video.
I recently bought a plane ticket to visit my family in a few weeks, and lo and behold, my account got disabled, which is fine. That's normal. It's a big purchase. So I called up and I said, hey, my account got disabled. And they said, are you calling for yourself or on behalf of someone? I said, nope, I'm on behalf of myself. I'm Lily. I said, Lily, right? Yeah, Lily. Okay. And then they throw every security question of the book. They're asking my everything, my mom's maiden name, like everything. And then they put me on hold, and a hold for a minute or two is fine because it was just like 1 or 2 purchases. Like, there's not that much to review, but it's like 10, 15 minutes. And it's like, they're not looking at these purchases. They must be like talking to someone. They have to be suspicious. I'm almost certain they're suspicious because of my voice. They come back and of course they call me sir. Immediately I say, nope, I'm not a sir. I'm a transgender woman. And they say, oh, okay, I'm so sorry, sir. And it's like, okay, now I'm getting really upset because it's obvious what's happening. And then they say, oh, by the way, we're going to be placing a 3 business day hold on your account, which basically means I have no money. Rent is due in a few days, so don't know what I'm going to do about that. Really upsetting. And just because of my voice, I didn't realize that in order to be a customer at this bank as a transgender person, I had to voice train. They should probably put that on their marketing materials so other trans people know not to give that bank their business.
Again, let's take things that didn't happen for 100. He's trying to say that he bought tickets, plane tickets, and his bank account got frozen because they were a little concerned. And when he made the phone call to the bank, they were a little confused on whether that was his account or not, which I can understand that. I once worked in a call center for a bank, and I understand, people sound masculine or feminine, and that's not the gender they are. My husband, he gets called ma'am a lot because he has not a really deep voice and his name looks feminine. So here we have Lily Tino saying that he got misgendered and the bank froze his account and now he's broke because he can't get into his bank account, which was probably clout and oh woe was me to kind of get people to send him money, guarantee. But I'm sorry, I would see them questioning you, and the thing is they would ask you security questions. If you called and asked about your bank account, they would ask security questions, and if you answer those security questions right, then obviously they know it's you. Well, anyways, I guarantee it didn't happen. And it was probably for views. Probably another woe is me, pity me. I got misgendered because they thought I was a sir when I called. Well, you have a deep voice, dude. And they probably got a little concerned when you called, which my thing is they didn't hear you until you called about why your account got frozen. So how would they know to freeze your account for you sounding like a man if the account was frozen before you called the bank? So that's why I said things that didn't happen for $100. Man, I should make that a little bit more. Things that didn't happen for $1,000. Guarantee his account never got frozen. Guarantee it. Guarantee it didn't happen. And then look in the video. You look like a dude. You look like a dude. And he wonders why he gets misgendered. All right. I believe this is the last video I'm doing of this creep. So let's watch it.
You wanted to sit at this table, but we have reservations, so
Oh.
we're going to have to move you to a smaller table.
Okay.
Are you having lunch with us today? Okay. So I can move you over here, then the server will get you started in a few minutes.
Okay. Are all of these taken?
Yeah, the bigger tables have to be open because we have a lot of reservations today.
Okay,
So I can
what
put you
time-
in a smaller they're all different times, so we're about to set up this section for a party that's coming in.
Oh, okay.
So
What
you want
what
us
time
to-
do you think they'll come in? Just because it'll probably be pretty loud, I would imagine, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I just don't want to set up at a table if it's going to get loud in like 30 minutes. Maybe it'd be.
It'll be loud everywhere in the cafe.
Okay.
Yeah. But so would you like to still sit and eat? Because I can move you over here.
Just so I know, like, when do you think like this will be popping? I guess because it's like
We are
empty
about
now.
to hit
So.
our lunch rush right now. And we
Okay.
have a lot of reservation. It's the holiday. People are on break, so we expect to be busy all day.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can move you over here. It's probably going to be the quietest right now. But
Okay. I think I'll probably just leave.
okay.
It's completely empty in here, by the way. Like, completely empty. Someone sat me here and I was like, can I take the bigger table? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure she just kicked me out because she didn't like me or something. Lots of reservations, they say. Lots of reservations. When are the reservations? Oh, I don't know when the reservations are, but you can't be here, basically. Do you want to move to, like, a small table that is bad lighting? And even though we already told you could sit at this table?
Okay, so in that last video, Lily Tino is sitting in Hard Rock Cafe in San Francisco, making videos, probably plotting on how much free food he can get by getting misgendered. And a server came up to him and asked him if he could move to a different table because they have reservations coming in. You know, people that have reservations coming in. Guarantee it was probably like a party or something coming in, so there was tables being used. So that would mean that Lily Tino would just have to move to a different table. So he had to play the woe is me, pity me, and say that they were trying to kick him out. No, they weren't. They asked you if you could move to a different table because those were reserved seating. So he had to stir the pot a little bit, get the pity me that he was asked if he could move to a different table. And then he had to talk about, well, is it going to get loud in there? What is it to you if it gets loud? Okay? People are there to eat. People are there to drink. They're not there to bow down to you so you can make your content. Okay? If you want to make content, make it in a place where people are not going to be making a lot of noise. So he had to play the pity me and say that they were kicking him out. No, they weren't. Watch that fucking video again. He was not getting kicked out of Hard Rock Cafe in San Francisco. He was asked if he could move to a different table. But he had to whine about it, lie about saying, oh, I was getting kicked out. No, you weren't. You got asked if you could move to a different table. Because where you're sitting is where they have people that are going to be coming in that made reservations to have a bunch of places to sit. Okay? Just move to a different table. How freaking hard is that? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll move over to another table. It's that simple. Just nod and be like, that's fine. That's fine. Let me just let me just get my stuff and I'll just move over to that table over there. It's not that freaking hard. Seriously, it is not that freaking hard to pick up your shit and move it to a different table. Okay? I've done it before. I've done it before in places where people had reservations and they needed my table. And I guarantee he seated himself. I guarantee he seated himself, didn't wait for somebody to, seat him. He probably just sat down. If they need that table, get your ass up out of the chair, grab your shit, go to a different table. God, how old are you? Seriously. I guarantee I'm older than him. I do. I guarantee I'm older than him. And I have my Android phone going right now, so I can talk to my husband because I'm using my phone right now. See? Send me a picture. Send me a picture. Send him one back. I'm not really fond of the Android camera. I really don't like it. But this is like a backup phone I have. It's a backup phone I have. So if I'm using my cell phone to do videos on or anything, when I'm not using my other camera, I have this one that I can use. It's hooked up to my home internet. That way my husband can get a hold of me because I put this phone on Do Not Disturb when I'm doing videos. Okay, so you watch those videos. For those that are still with me here, what do you have to say about this person? What do you have to say? And if there's anybody that's trans watching, what do you have to say about this? Because in my opinion, he's a disgrace to the trans community. He's a disgrace. He's a disgrace to humankind. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I showed my husband these videos and yeah. And in my opinion, Lily Tino needs some therapy. You need some therapy because you don't go around talking about cake pops and marshmallow wands in an area where children are. If I was the person at the check-in and you were asking if you were banned from Disney, I'd be questioning that on why you're so worried about that, and I'd be calling security to look into that. And the things he does to make money to get free food, free drinks. That's pathetic. Just pathetic. And if anybody's wondering what that Z is on my finger, this is my wedding band finger. And in the summertime, my finger swells and I can't wear my wedding band. So what we did is we tattooed a Z, which is what my husband's name starts with, tattooed it on my finger. See, I drew out the Z, so that's my handwriting right there. And my husband tattooed over it. He's got a tattoo over it again because my finger was getting a little irritated because how sensitive my skin is. So he's got to go over it again. But that's why that's there. My fingers haven't swelled yet, but I have that prepared for when my fingers start swelling, because in this heat, my fingers swell. Yeah, Lily Tino, you're a disgrace to humanity and the trans community. You need to find a different hobby. How he hasn't been banned off in TikTok is beyond me. So, hope everyone has a nice day. I'll probably be back with some more videos. Not 100% sure because I gotta charge this phone that I'm working on right now. So, stay tuned. I'll see y'all later. Bye for now.